June had always been a dreamer. Every night since he turned 18, he would close his eyes and imagine his future mate. Someone soft, someone warm, someone who would smile at him like the sun rising over mountains. An Omega with gentle hands and a laugh that sounded like music. So when the matching ceremony letter arrived, June felt his heart jump. Finally, his dream was about to come true. The ceremony hall was filled with nervous alphas and omegas. June stood in line, his palms sweating. He had prepared everything. New clothes, fresh haircut. He even practiced his smile in the mirror 50 times. Number 247, the announcer called. That was him. June walked toward the private meeting room. His legs felt like jelly. Behind that door was his fated mate. The system had matched them based on their compatibility scores. The highest match in 10 years, they said. He pushed open the door and froze. The Omega sitting inside was not soft, not warm, not smiling like sunshine. He was tall, taller than June, which was rare for an Omega. His face looked like it was carved from ice. Cold eyes, sharp jaw. He sat with perfect posture, arms crossed, looking at June like he was a bug on the floor. You are late by 43 seconds, the Omega said. His voice was deep and flat. June blinked. What? 43 seconds. I counted. This had to be a mistake. June looked at the number on the door. 247. He looked at the paper in his hand. 247. No mistake. I am CO Ehan, the Omega continued. I assume you are my matched alpha. June nodded slowly. His dream Omega had soft eyes and a warm smile. This Omega looked like he could freeze water just by staring at it. Sit, Ehan commanded. June sat. He did not even think about it. His body just obeyed. For the next hour, Ehan asked him questions. What was his job? His income? His family background? His health records? Felt less like meeting a mate and more like a job interview. Do you have any questions for me? Ehan asked finally. June had 1,000 questions. Why are you so cold? Can you even smile? Did the system make an error? But what came out was, do you like coffee? Ehan stared at him for a long moment. Something flickered in his eyes. Was that surprise? Confusion? I prefer tea, Ehan said quietly. It was the first time his voice sounded less like ice. They signed the matching papers that day. June walked out of the hall feeling dizzy. This was not the soft Omega husband he had dreamed about. This was something else entirely. But as he walked to his car, he could not stop thinking about that tiny flicker in Ehan's cold eyes. What was hiding behind all that ice? That night, June lay in bed and stared at the ceiling. In 3 days, Ehan would move into his apartment. They would start their life together as a matched pair. His phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. I hope your apartment is clean. I will arrive at exactly 9 in the morning. Not a minute later. June groaned into his pillow. His dream Omega would have sent a sweet goodnight message. Maybe with a heart emoji. But somehow he found himself smiling anyway. The next morning, June's best friend Miho came over to help him clean. Let me see a photo of your match, Miho demanded. June showed him the official matching photo. Miho whistled. Wow, he is beautiful. He is terrifying, June corrected. Same thing sometimes. Miho grinned. The cold ones always have the best secrets. June threw a pillow at him, but the words stuck in his mind. What secrets was CO Ehan hiding? On the 3rd day, at exactly 9 in the morning, the doorbell rang. June opened it to find Ehan standing there with 2 suitcases. He wore a long gray coat and his expression was as cold as ever. Your doorbell is slightly out of tune, Ehan said as greeting. Good morning to you too, June replied. Ehan walked past him into the apartment. He looked around, inspecting everything. June felt like he was being judged by a very strict teacher. The living room is acceptable, Ehan announced. The kitchen needs better organization. I will fix it. June watched as Ehan began rearranging his kitchen cabinets. The Omega's movements were precise, efficient, almost robotic. But then Ehan reached for a high shelf and his coat sleeve pulled back. June saw it. A thin scar running along Ehan's wrist. Old, faded, but definitely there. Ehan noticed him looking. Their eyes met. For just 1 second, the ice in Ehan's eyes cracked. June saw something underneath. Fear? Pain? Loneliness? Then the wall came back up. I prefer the left side of the bed, Ehan said, turning away. June did not push. Not yet. But now he knew the truth. His cold, tall Omega was not made of ice after all. He was just very, very good at pretending to be. Living with Ehan was like living with a very beautiful robot. Every morning at 6, Ehan woke up. By 6:15, he finished his shower. By 6:30, he made breakfast. Always the same. Rice, soup, 1 egg. Everything measured perfectly. June, who usually woke up whenever his body felt like it, found himself dragged out of bed by the smell of food. You should wake up earlier, Ehan said on the 4th morning. Sleeping too much is bad for health. June yawned. I like sleep. Liking something does not make it good for you. Do you ever relax? Ehan paused. His chopsticks hovered over his rice. Relaxing is inefficient. June decided that making Ehan relax would be his new life mission. At work, June could not focus. He was a children's book illustrator, and his current project was about a bunny finding friends. But every time he tried to draw, he kept sketching cold eyes instead. You look distracted, his editor Hannah noticed. My matched Omega is confusing me. How so? June thought about how to explain Ehan. The perfect schedules, the cold words, the tiny moments where his mask slipped. He acts like he does not feel anything, June said. But sometimes I catch him staring at nothing, like he is far away, somewhere sad. Hannah smiled gently. Some people build walls because they have been hurt too much. Maybe he just needs someone to show him the walls are not necessary anymore. That night, June came home with a small cake. Strawberry. He did not know why he picked strawberry. It just felt right. Ehan was reading on the couch when June walked in. He looked up and frowned at the box in June's hands. What is that? Cake. Have you eaten dinner? Yes. At exactly 7 p.m. Good. Then this is dessert. June sat down and opened the box. The cake was pretty. Pink frosting. Fresh strawberries on top. Ehan stared at it like it was a bomb. I did not schedule dessert today. That is the point. June cut a slice and held it out. Just try it. Ehan did not move. His eyes stayed on the cake. June could almost see the war happening inside his head. Schedule versus spontaneity. Control versus letting go. Finally, slowly, Ehan took the fork. He took one small bite, and his eyes widened. It was the most emotion June had ever seen on his face. Pure, genuine surprise, like he had forgotten food could taste good. It is. Ehan paused. Acceptable. June grinned. Coming from Ehan, that was basically a love declaration. They ate the rest of the cake in silence. But it was a comfortable silence. When Ehan finished his slice, he did not immediately get up to clean. He sat there, looking at the empty plate. My mother used to make strawberry cake, Ehan said quietly. June's heart squeezed. This was the first time Ehan mentioned his family. Used to. Ehan stood up abruptly. I need to wash the dishes. He walked to the kitchen. Conversation over. But June had learned something important. There was a past. There was pain. There were memories Ehan kept locked away. And strawberries were a key. The next few days, June started paying closer attention. He noticed that Ehan always slept with the lamp on. He noticed that Ehan checked the door lock exactly 3 times before bed. He noticed that Ehan flinched whenever someone knocked too loudly. Small things. Hidden things. Pieces of a puzzle June was slowly putting together. One night, June woke up to sounds from the living room. He walked out quietly and found Ehan sitting by the window. Moonlight fell on his face. He was crying. Silent tears. No sound. Like he had practiced crying without anyone hearing. June did not know what to do. If he approached, Ehan would put the walls back up. So instead, he went to the kitchen. Made tea. Set it on the table near the window. In case you want it, June said softly. Then he went back to bed. The next morning, the teacup was empty and washed. Ehan acted like nothing happened. But when he handed June his breakfast, their fingers touched. Ehan did not pull away immediately, and June felt like he had won something precious. At work, June's bunny story was stuck. The bunny needed a friend, but June could not figure out what kind. Then he thought about Ehan, a cold, scared creature who did not know how to accept warmth. He started drawing. The bunny met a fox. The fox had sharp eyes and stayed away from everyone. The bunny kept bringing the fox carrots. The fox said carrots were unnecessary, but the fox always ate them. "This is beautiful," Hannah said when she saw the pages. "There is so much emotion, so much longing." June smiled. "I found my inspiration." That weekend, June's mother called. She wanted to meet Ehan. "Bring your Omega home for dinner," she demanded. "I want to see who my son is matched with." June felt nervous. His family was loud, warm, chaotic. Ehan was the opposite of all those things. "My mother wants to meet you," June told Ehan. Ehan's face went pale. Actually pale, like someone had mentioned a ghost. "Meet your family? Just dinner. Nothing scary. I need to prepare." Ehan stood up. "What do they like? What topics should I avoid? What time should we arrive? I need to research." "Ehan." June caught his hand. "They will like you because I like you." Ehan froze. His eyes went wide. "You? Like me?" June realized what he said. His face turned red. "I mean, you are my mate." "Of course No one has said that to me before." The words were so quiet, so broken. June felt his heart crack open. "Well," June said, still holding Ehan's hand, "get used to it." Ehan did not reply, but he also did not let go. June's family home was exactly how he remembered it. Loud, messy, full of love. His mother hugged him the moment he walked through the door. His father laughed and patted his back. His younger sister Yuna demanded to see photos of his new apartment. And through all of this, Ehan stood behind June like a statue. "You must be Ehan." June's mother rushed toward him. "Oh, you are so handsome. Come in. Come in." She tried to hug him. Ehan went stiff as a board. June gently stepped between them. "Mom, maybe start with a handshake?" His mother laughed. Right. I forgot not everyone is used to our family craziness." Dinner was chaos. June's family talked over each other. They argued about whether the soup needed more salt. They told embarrassing stories about June's childhood. Ehan ate quietly, answering questions with short words. But June noticed something. Ehan was watching. His eyes moved from person to person, watching how June's mother touched his father's arm, watching how Yuna stole food from June's plate, watching how everyone laughed at the same time, like he was studying something foreign, something he did not understand. After dinner, Yuna pulled June aside. "Your Omega is weird," she whispered. "He is not weird, just different. He looks at our family like we are aliens." June sighed. "Maybe to him we are." On the drive home, Ehan was silent. June let him think. The city lights passed by outside the window. "Your family is loud," Ehan said finally. "Yes. They touch each other a lot." "Yes. They say I love you like it is normal. Because it is normal. For them." Ehan went quiet again. When they got home, he went straight to the bedroom. But at the door, he stopped. "My family was not like that." June waited. "My father left when I was born. He did not want an Omega son. My mother tried her best. But..." Ehan's voice cracked. "She died when I was 16. After that, I was sent to my uncle's house." June felt cold spread through his chest. "What happened there?" "Nothing good." Ehan's hands were shaking. "That is where I learned to be quiet, to be perfect, to never show weakness, because weakness was punished." June crossed the room. He stood in front of Ehan but did not touch him. "Not yet. You are safe here," June said. "No one will hurt you." You cannot promise that. I can try. Ehan looked up. His eyes were wet but no tears fell. He had probably trained himself not to cry. Another survival skill from a terrible past. Why are you so kind to me? Ehan whispered. I am cold. Difficult. I cannot be the soft Omega you wanted. Who told you I want soft? Everyone wants soft Omegas. Gentle. Obedient. Easy. June shook his head. I thought I wanted that. But then I met you. You are strong. You survived things that would break most people. You built walls to protect yourself. That is not cold, Ehan. That is brave. A tear finally escaped. Ehan wiped it away quickly. I do not know how to be different, he admitted. I have been this way for so long. Then let me help. We have time. June slowly reached out. His hand hovered near Ehan's cheek. Can I? Ehan nodded. June touched his face gently. Ehan closed his eyes. More tears fell. When was the last time someone held you? June asked. I do not remember. June pulled him into a hug. Soft, careful, giving Ehan room to escape if he needed. Ehan did not escape. Instead, he grabbed June's shirt and held on tight. His shoulders shook with silent sobs. They stood there for a long time. The cold, tall Omega and the dreamer Alpha. Two people who were supposed to be mismatched, finding something unexpected instead. When Ehan finally pulled back, his eyes were red but calmer. Thank you, he whispered. For what? For not giving up on me. June smiled. Never. That night, for the first time, Ehan slept without the lamp on. June noticed, and smiled in the darkness. The next morning something changed. Ehan still woke at 6. Still made breakfast at 6:30. But when he handed June his coffee, he almost smiled. Almost. I added extra sugar, Ehan said. You like sweet things. June's heart exploded into a million pieces. You noticed. I notice everything about you. It was the most romantic thing Ehan had ever said. June wanted to frame those words and hang them on the wall. But before he could respond, his phone rang. Unknown number. Hello. Is this Park Junkyu? A cold voice asked. Yes. I am Seo Jihun, Ehan's uncle. I heard he got matched. I think we should talk. June looked at Ehan. The Omega had gone pale. His hands gripped the counter so hard his knuckles turned white. About what? June asked carefully. About my nephew's past. There are things you should know. Things he has probably hidden from you. The line went dead. Ehan was shaking. What does he want? June asked. Nothing good. Ehan's voice was barely audible. Nothing good ever comes from him. June put down his phone. He walked to Ehan and took his hands. Whatever this is, we face it together. Okay? Ehan looked at him. Fear, hope, trust, all mixed together. Together, he repeated. And somehow that word sounded like a promise. Seo Jihun arrived 2 days later. June had told Ehan they could refuse to meet him. They could call the police. They could run. But Ehan shook his head. Running does not work with him, Ehan said. He always finds a way. So they prepared. June cleaned the apartment. Ehan made tea. But his hands shook the entire time. When the doorbell rang at exactly 3 p.m., Ehan stopped breathing. I will answer it, June said. Stay here. He opened the door. Jihun was older than June expected. Gray hair, sharp suit, a smile that did not reach his eyes. Behind him stood 2 men in black. Bodyguards, maybe, or threats, probably both. Park Junkyu. Jihun walked in without being invited. Younger than I imagined. And you are ruder than I imagined, June replied. Jihun laughed, cold and empty. In the living room, Ehan stood straight. His face was blank. The walls were back up, higher than ever. Uncle, Ehan said flatly. Ehan, you look well. The matching system treated you kindly. Jihun sat on the couch like he owned it. Though I am surprised you did not tell your mate about your history. My history is none of your business. Is it not? I raised you for 5 years. I invested in you. And then you disappeared without paying what you owed. June stepped forward. What are you talking about? What debt? Jihun smiled. Ehan did not tell you? How disappointing. He pulled out a folder from his briefcase. After his mother died, I took him in, fed him, housed him, educated him. In return, he was supposed to marry the partner I chose. A business arrangement. Very profitable. June felt sick. You were going to sell him? Such ugly words. I prefer partnership. But Ehan ran away 3 days before the wedding. Caused me great embarrassment. Great financial loss. Jihun's eyes turned cold. I have been looking for him for 3 years. Ehan's hands were trembling. I will not go back. Who said anything about going back? Jihun leaned forward. I just want what I am owed. Money. A lot of it. Your matching bonus should cover most of it. June understood now. In their country, matched pairs received government support, housing funds, marriage bonuses. Jihun wanted to steal it. Get out, June said. Excuse me? You heard me. Get out of my apartment. You have no legal right to Ehan. No claim to our money. Leave before I call the police. Jihun stood slowly. The fake smile was gone. Pure ice underneath. You are making a mistake, young man. I have connections. Power. I can make your lives very difficult. Try it. June did not back down. Ehan is my mate, my family, and we protect family. For a long moment no one moved. Then Jihun laughed again. Very brave. Very stupid. He walked toward the door. You will hear from my lawyers. Both of you. He left. The bodyguards followed. The door slammed shut. Silence. Then Ehan collapsed onto the couch. All the strength drained out of him. I am sorry, he whispered. I should have told you. About him. About everything. June sat beside him. Tell me now. So Ehan did. He told June about the 5 years with his uncle. The strict rules. The punishments for small mistakes. The man Jihun wanted him to marry. Old. Cruel. Interested in Ehan only because of his rare Omega status. I tried to be perfect, Ehan said. I thought if I was good enough, he would be kind. But nothing was ever good enough. So I ran. Changed my name. It applied to the matching system because it was the only way to get protection. You changed your name? Ehan nodded. My birth name was Seo Yaiwen. I changed 1 letter. Stupid. But it was all I could think of. June took his hand. It worked. You survived. That is not stupid. But now he found me. Because of the matching announcement. Because I got careless. Ehan's voice broke. I brought danger to your door. You should leave me. Find a different mate. Someone without all this mess. Are you done? Ehan blinked. What? Are you done telling me to leave? Because my answer is no. It was no yesterday. It is no today. It will be no tomorrow. June squeezed his hand. I do not want a different mate. I want you. Cold walls and scary uncle and all. Ehan stared at him. Why? Because you are worth fighting for. More tears. Ehan really was not good at hiding them anymore. Maybe that was progress. The next few days were tense. Jihun's lawyers sent letters. Demands for money. Threats of lawsuits. June's family lawyer looked them over and laughed. He has no case, she said. Ehan was a minor when he ran away. Jihun had no legal guardianship. All those debts are fake. This is just intimidation. June felt relieved, but Ehan was still scared. He will not give up, Ehan insisted. He never gives up, and he was right. 1 week later, June came home to find the apartment door open. Inside, furniture was turned over. Papers scattered everywhere. A message written on the wall in red paint. Pay what you owe. Ehan was sitting in the middle of the chaos, staring at nothing. I was at the grocery store, he said quietly. When I came back, it was like this. June pulled out his phone, called the police. Then he sat down beside Ehan and held him. We will fix this, June promised. How? I do not know yet, but I will figure it out. That night they slept at Miho's place. Too dangerous to stay home. Ehan barely spoke. The walls were back, higher and thicker than before. June stayed awake, watching his mate sleep restlessly. He had promised to protect Ehan. Now he needed to figure out how. 2 weeks. That was how long they hid. Miho's apartment was small but safe. June worked from home. Ehan barely left the guest room. The spark that had started to grow between them seemed to die. "He is getting worse," Miho whispered to June one night. "I know. You need to do something. I know. But what?" Jihun had money and connections. He had already proven he could reach them anywhere. The police were slow. The lawyers were careful. Nothing seemed to work. Then June had an idea. His sister Yuna worked at a news station. Small but growing. They loved controversial stories. And what was more controversial than a rich businessman threatening his former ward? "Are you sure about this?" Yuna asked when June called her. "No. But Ehan cannot live in fear forever. We need to fight back. If this goes wrong, Jihun could ruin both of you. If we do nothing, he ruins us anyway. At least this way, we choose the battlefield." Yuna was quiet for a moment. Then she laughed. "You sound like a hero from one of your children's books. Maybe I am becoming one." The interview happened 3 days later. June sat in front of cameras and told everything. Ehan's past. Jihun's threats. The break-in. The harassment. "My mate came from a difficult situation," June said, looking directly at the camera. "He survived. He built a new life. And now his abuser wants to drag him back. We are not asking for sympathy. We are asking for justice." The video went live that night. By morning, it had 2 million views. June's phone exploded. Messages from strangers. Support from people they never met. News channels wanted interviews. Lawyers offered free help. Even some politicians expressed concern. And Jihun? Jihun's company stock dropped 15%. Business partners called asking questions. His reputation, so carefully built, started to crack. Ehan watched all of this in silence. June could not read his expression. "Are you angry?" June asked. "That I exposed your past without asking?" Ehan shook his head slowly. "I am confused." "About what? Why do strangers care? They do not know me. Why would they fight for someone they never met?" June sat beside him. "Because good people exist. More than you think. You just never had a chance to meet them before." Han was quiet for a long time. Then he reached out and took June's hand. "I want to go home," he said. "Is that safe?" "I do not care. I am tired of hiding." Ehan's eyes met June's. There was fire there, small but growing. "You fought for me. Now I want to fight too." They went home that day. The apartment was fixed. The message cleaned. But the air still felt heavy. Ehan stood in the middle of the living room. His back was straight. His jaw was set. "I want to release my own statement," he said. June blinked. "What?" "You told my story. Now I want to tell it myself. My words. My voice." Ehan turned to face him. "I spent my whole life being silent. Hiding. Being ashamed. But I am not ashamed anymore. He should be ashamed. Not me." June felt pride swell in his chest. This was not the cold, distant Omega he met at the matching ceremony. This was someone stronger, braver, someone reborn. "Then let us do it," June said. Ehan's video was simple. Just him sitting in their living room talking. He talked about losing his mother. About the years with Jihun. About the fear that controlled every minute of his life. About running. About hiding. About thinking he was broken forever. "I am not broken," Ehan said, looking at the camera. "I am surviving. And if anyone out there is going through something similar, please know this. You deserve better. You deserve safety. You deserve love. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise." The video ended. June was crying. Ehan looked at him, confused. "Why are you crying?" "Because I am so proud of you." Ehan's face softened. "Just a little. Just enough." "Thank you," he whispered, "for believing in me when I could not believe in myself." June wiped his eyes. Always. The fallout was bigger than they expected. Ehan's video got even more views than June's. Survivors shared their own stories in the comments. News articles wrote about the power of speaking up. Jihoon's remaining business partners started dropping him. And then the real victory. 3 weeks later, police arrested Jihoon. Charges of fraud, tax evasion, attempted extortion, witness tampering. Things his victims had been too scared to report before. But not anymore. June and Ehan watched the news together. Jihoon in handcuffs, cameras flashing, the empire crumbling. "It is over," June said. Han did not respond. He just reached over and intertwined his fingers with June's. They sat like that for hours. Two people who started as strangers. Now something more. Something real. With Jihoon gone, Ehan changed. Not all at once. Not dramatically. But slowly. Like ice melting in spring. He still woke at 6 a.m. Still made breakfast at 6:30. But now he hummed while cooking. Soft songs. Half remembered. June pretended not to notice. Afraid if he did, Ehan would stop. One morning, Ehan made pancakes instead of rice. June stared at the plate like it was made of gold. "You changed the routine?" Ehan shrugged. One shoulder. Almost casual. "I read that variety is good for mental health." June took a bite. The pancakes were perfect. Of course they were. "These are amazing. They are acceptable." But Ehan was smiling. Just a little. Just enough. Their relationship shifted too. Before, they moved around each other carefully. Two strangers sharing space. Now they started sharing time. Movie nights. Han had never watched romance films. He found them illogical. But he sat through every one June picked, commenting on plot holes and unrealistic dialogue. June found it adorable. Cooking together. June was terrible in the kitchen. He burned water once. Ehan took it as a personal mission to teach him. Their lessons usually ended with flour everywhere and Ehan sighing dramatically. Walking together. They discovered a park near their apartment. Cherry blossoms in spring. Quiet paths. Old couples feeding pigeons. They walked there every Sunday. "This is nice," Ehan said one day. "What is this?" "All of it." Ehan looked at the trees. "I never thought I could have this." June reached for his hand. "You deserve this. You deserve everything." Ehan squeezed back. He did not have words yet, but the pressure of his fingers said enough. At work, June finally finished his children's book. The Bunny and the Fox. It was his best work yet. "The fox finds a home," Hannah said, reading the final page. "This is beautiful, June. I had inspiration." The book got published. Sold well. Kids loved the fox character. Parents bought it for the message. Be patient with people. Everyone has a story you do not see. June gave the first copy to Ehan. "You wrote this about me," Ehan said. It was not a question. "Yes. The fox is cold and difficult. The fox is brave and healing." June touched Ehan's cheek. "Just like you." Ehan held the book to his chest. His eyes were bright. "No one has ever seen me this way before," he whispered. Then everyone else was blind. That night, for the first time, Ehan said it. They were in bed. Lights off. June was almost asleep when he heard it. "June. I love you." June's eyes flew open. He turned over. In the darkness, he could barely see Ehan's face. "What did you say?" "I love you." Ehan's voice was steady. "Sure. I did not understand what it meant before, but now I do. You showed me." June felt tears building. "Ehan, you do not have to say it back. I know I am not the Omega you dreamed of. I know I am difficult and cold and—" June kissed him. Soft, gentle, everything he had been wanting to do for months. When they pulled apart, Ehan's eyes were wide. "I love you too," June said. "I did not dream of you, but you are better than anything I could have imagined." Ehan laughed. Actually laughed. The sound was rusty, like he had forgotten how. But it was the most beautiful thing June had ever heard. "We are quite the pair," Ehan said. "The best pair." They fell asleep holding each other. Two broken people learning to be whole. The next morning, June's mother called. I heard about your book, and I want to throw an engagement party. Mom, we are already matched. So, you never had a proper celebration. I want to invite the whole family. And Ehan's family too, if he has anyone. June looked at Ehan, who had heard everything. I have no one, Ehan said quietly. June took his hand. You have us now. The party happened a month later. June's family went overboard. Decorations everywhere. Enough food for 3 weddings. Every relative showed up. Ehan was nervous. June could tell by how straight his back was, how careful his words were. But something different happened this time. June's mother cornered Ehan in the kitchen. You make my son happy, she said. That is all I care about. I will try to keep him happy, Ehan replied carefully. Do not try. Just love him. The rest works itself out. Ehan blinked, like he was processing something complex. Is it really that simple? The good things usually are. She patted his cheek. Welcome to the family, Ehan. For real this time. And for the first time at a family gathering, Ehan smiled. A real smile. June saw it from across the room. His heart stopped. He had waited months for that smile. And it was worth every second. 1 year passed. June marked the day on his calendar. Exactly 1 year since the matching ceremony. 1 year since he opened that door and found a cold, tall Enigma instead of his dream Omega. He never imagined he would be grateful for the surprise. Their apartment looked different now. Han had added plants. They improve air quality, he explained. But June caught him talking to them sometimes, encouraging them to grow. Ehan cooked new recipes, read new books, laughed more. His walls were not gone completely. Maybe they never would be. But there were doors now, windows, ways for June to see inside. I have a surprise for you, Ehan said on their anniversary morning. June raised his eyebrows. You? A surprise? Do not act so shocked. I can be spontaneous. Since when? Since I read a book about it. Han held out his hand. Come with me. They drove for an hour, out of the city, into the countryside. June had no idea where they were going. Ehan refused to tell him. Finally, they stopped at a small cottage. White walls, blue roof, a garden full of flowers. What is this place? June asked. Ours. Ehan's voice was soft. If you want it. June turned to stare at him. Ehan was nervous. Actually nervous. His hands gripped the steering wheel too tight. I have been saving money, Ehan explained. My inheritance from my mother. I never touched it because it reminded me of pain. But then I thought, maybe it could become something good instead. Place for us. Away from the city, where we can be ourselves. June got out of the car. He walked to the cottage, touched the door. The wood was old but solid. You bought us a house, June said. A cottage. Houses are bigger. Ehan, I know it is small, and it needs work. And maybe you think it is too far from. June kissed him, right there in front of their new home. It is perfect, June said against his lips. They spent the day exploring. The cottage had 2 bedrooms, a tiny kitchen, and a living room with a fireplace. The garden was wild but beautiful. And behind the house there was a small studio. For your art, Ehan said. So you have space to create. June could not speak. He just stood in the empty studio, imagining filling it with colors and dreams. That evening, they sat on the cottage porch and watched the sunset. I have something for you too, June said. He pulled out a small box. Inside was a ring, simple, silver, engraved with 2 words, together, always. I know we are already matched, June said. But I wanted to ask properly. Ehan, will you stay with me? Not because the system told us to, but because we choose each other, every day, for the rest of our lives. Ehan looked at the ring, then at June. His eyes were wet. Yes, he whispered. 1,000 times yes. June slipped the ring on his finger. Fit perfectly. They held each other as the sun disappeared. 2 people who started as strangers, now building a future. The next month was chaos. They moved everything to the cottage. June set up his studio. Ehan planted vegetables. They fixed leaky pipes and creaky floors and argued about paint colors. It was messy, imperfect, wonderful. One night, after a long day of unpacking, they collapsed on the couch. "I never thought I would have this," Ehan said. "A cottage. A home." Ehan looked around at the half-unpacked boxes, the crooked paintings, the life they were building together. "I spent so long surviving. I forgot what living felt like." June pulled him closer. "Now you know. Now I know." And in the quiet of their cottage, far from the city and the past and the pain, they were finally just two people in love. Months passed. Seasons changed. June published more books. The Bunny and Fox became a series. Kids sent letters about how the fox character helped them feel less alone. Ehan read every letter and pretended he was not touched. Ehan started volunteering at a shelter for Omega survivors, sharing his story, helping others find their way out. He was still awkward sometimes, still said the wrong thing, but he showed up, every week, without fail. "You are good at this," the shelter director told him one day. "I am just telling the truth." That is exactly what they need. June watched his mate grow, not taller, still annoyingly tall, but bigger somehow, more present, more alive. The cold, tall Enigma was becoming something new, someone warm, someone home, and June fell in love with him all over again. Every single day. 2 more years passed. The cottage was no longer half unpacked. It was full. Art on every wall, books on every shelf, plants in every corner, life in every room. June's studio had windows that caught the morning light. He painted there every day, creating worlds for children to get lost in. His latest series was about an alpha bunny and an omega fox raising baby animals together. Ehan said it was emotionally manipulative. He also cried at the ending. Their life had settled into something beautiful. Not perfect. They still argued. Ehan was stubborn about schedules. June was terrible at remembering dates. They drove each other crazy sometimes. But crazy together was better than sane apart. One autumn morning, Ehan came into the studio with tea. He set it on June's desk and stood there, not leaving. June looked up. "What?" "I have been thinking. Dangerous activity." "June, I am serious." June put down his brush. Ehan had that look. The one that meant something important was coming. "What have you been thinking about?" Ehan sat on the stool across from him. His hands were in his lap. Classic nervous position. "About the shelter. About the children there." Ehan paused. "About us." June's heart started beating faster. "Okay. There is a boy. His name is Minji. He is 7. His parents died when he was 3. He has been in the system ever since." Ehan's voice was steady, but his eyes were not. "He reminds me of myself. Quiet, scared, building walls because he does not know what else to do." June understood suddenly where this was going. His chest felt tight. "You want to adopt him." "I want us to adopt him." Ehan finally looked up. "If you want that too." June did not answer immediately. He thought about their quiet cottage, their peaceful routine. Adding a child would change everything. But he also thought about Ehan at 7. Alone, scared, wishing someone would choose him, and about June's own childhood, full of chaos and warmth and knowing he was loved. Every child deserved that. "Tell me about him," June said. Ehan's face lit up, not with a smile yet, but with hope. "He likes drawing. Bad drawings. Terrible, actually. But he tries so hard." Ehan almost laughed. "He asked me once why the sky is blue. I explained the science. He said he preferred to think it was because the sky was holding its breath. He is strange. He sounds perfect." Ehan blinked. "You really think so?" "I think he sounds like someone who needs us, and someone we need too." The adoption process took 6 months. Paperwork, interviews, home visits, social workers examining every corner of their lives. Ehan was stressed. June was nervous, but they pushed through. And finally, on a warm spring day, they brought Minji home. He was small, thin, holding a backpack like it contained everything precious in the world. He looked at the cottage with wide eyes. "This is where I live now?" he asked. "This is home," June said. "For as long as you want. Forever." June and Ehan looked at each other. "Forever," they said together. Minji did not smile. Not yet. He was too scared for that. But he nodded once, accepting the promise. The first weeks were hard. Minji had nightmares. He flinched at loud noises. He hoarded food under his bed, afraid it would disappear. All survival skills from a hard life. Ehan understood. He sat with Minji during nightmares, explained that the food would always be there, showed him patience that June did not know Ehan had. "You are good at this," June said one night after Minji fell asleep. "I remember being him." Ehan looked at the sleeping boy. "I remember wishing someone would be patient with me. Now you are that someone. We both are." Slowly, Minji opened up. He laughed at June's terrible jokes. He helped Ehan in the garden. He drew pictures of their family, 3 stick figures holding hands. June framed every single one. On Minji's first birthday with them, they threw a party. Just family. June's mother cried. His father built Minji a treehouse. Yuna gave him art supplies because he needs to learn from the best. Minji looked overwhelmed. But this time it was the good kind of overwhelmed. "I never had a birthday party before," he said quietly. "You will have one every year from now on," Ehan promised. Minji finally smiled. A real, full smile. The first one they had seen. June took a picture. He wanted to remember this moment forever. That night, after Minji went to sleep, June and Ehan sat on the porch. The stars were bright. The air smelled like spring flowers. "Do you remember the matching ceremony?" June asked. "Of course. You were late by 43 seconds. And you were the coldest person I had ever met." Ehan laughed softly. "I was terrified. I thought if I let you see me, you would leave. And now I cannot imagine my life without you." Ehan reached for June's hand. "You gave me everything. A home, family, a reason to stop just surviving and start actually living." June brought Ehan's hand to his lips, kissed his knuckles. "I dreamed of a soft Omega husband," June said. "But I got something better. I got you. Cold and tall and difficult. And absolutely perfect." Han leaned his head on June's shoulder. "Perfect is a strong word. It is the right word." They sat in comfortable silence. Inside, their son slept peacefully. Around them, their home held memories of struggle and healing and love. June thought about dreams. The ones you plan for and the ones that surprise you. The surprises, he decided, were always better. "June." Ehan's voice was sleepy. I love you. I love you too." Above them, the stars kept shining. Below them, the earth kept turning. And in their small cottage, a family grew stronger. Not the family June dreamed of. Something better. Something real. Something that would last forever.